is keep getting what the government promised us that we were going to receive for being veterans and fighting in a war. So I have to do it, and I know I have to do it. I'm feeling a little bit, people are at least thanking me. Once they find out that I've been in Vietnam now, I have a lot of people that at least pat me on the back and thank me for my dedication, in serving our country. And it does make me feel good. Though I'll be honest with you, I'm a little bit jealous about all the press that everybody's getting from Iraq. And I honestly believe it has a lot to do with the Vietnam-era veterans.
Okay.
Because of what we went through, and we know, how it is. I mean, it wasn't our fault. We didn't ask to go over there. We were given a duty, and we performed it. And that's what these guys are doing, and I'm awful proud of what everybody's doing.
Right.
But at the same time, honestly, I'm a little jealous, to a certain extent, because we didn't get any of that when we come home.
Of the press coverage and
the press coverage
and the troops things?
The support the troops things. There wasn't any of that when we were going there. They were all over us,
Yeah, I heard you were lucky if you got news back from what was going on in America. Wasn't very safe for newscasters and reporters to come in like it is now, where they can.
There were some that went over there and they got right into the mix of it, but a lot of people didn't want to hear what they were trying to tell everybody, and it was tough.
Mm-hmm. You said it earlier, but what did the government promise you as a veteran?
Well, it's all the medical benefits. There's, as being a veteran of a war, I should be able to go into VA hospital and be able to take care of. And then there was the educational level that I took advantage of for 2 years, and could have had 4 years, but my studying habits were not real good, so it was not to waste the government's money. I probably more belonged in a trade school but I didn't know what trade I really wanted to get into. So, and there's the VA loans. I did get a VA loan when I was in Alaska. Most of it's right now it's medical benefits, and they've been taking some of that stuff away from us here lately,
right,
for what I've been hearing. So the more troops that sign up, and at least the politicians are talking about protecting the VA benefits.
Yeah,
but that has a lot to do with taxes. See, that's your tax. That'll be your taxes down the line. That'll be my taxes now. It's things like that that the public has to pay for. They don't realize it.
Mm-hmm. So lately, many politicians have become the Vietnam War more of a conflict than a war. How do you feel about that?
Well, they've always called it a conflict. I don't think it's ever really been justified as a war. I'm not too sure. But we lost 58,000 people. There, people are killing people. To me, that's war.
Mm-hmm.
They can say what they want to say. There was no real, how can you, no, we didn't declare anything against them. We were over there and fighting, but we really didn't declare a war against them. So that's how they justify it being a conflict versus a war.
Yeah. So when were you first aware of the job opportunities on the Alaskan pipeline?
In I really didn't aware of in 75, we went up there, my friend and I, he come to me in probably February of 75 and asked me if I wanted to go to Alaska. And I told you earlier that I'd gone through there on my way to Vietnam and on my way back from Vietnam, and they were both, one was in May on the way over, the other one was in June on the way back, and it's getting near their longest days, and I landed, we landed during the day on the way over, and it was a sunny day, it was gorgeous. On the way back, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, we landed in Fairbanks, Alaska, and the sun was out, and I'm like having a hard time dealing with that, and you got mountains in the background. I didn't know really anything about the pipeline at that point until we got up to Alaska. And then we went up there to just work for the summer. And in 75, we started knowing, people that worked in Alaska, we were working around them and doing different things. And then in '76 is when I got my first job in Prudhoe Bay.
Oh. And you worked on
I was up there about 9 months.
Uh-huh. And you worked on the fields, not really on the pipeline itself?
I worked in the oil fields, not on the pipeline.
So what did that job entail?
Started out running machinery, what we call pickup laydown machines, and they were machines that would pick up pipe to the rig floor for the drilling rigs. It would make the process go by a lot faster, and we had machines that would do that. We would count all the drill pipe, and then we'd pick up tubing what we would be running the gas and oil through.
Mm-hmm.
And that probably made the job go by a lot faster, and up there time is money. And so that's what we started out doing. And then they started upgrading machinery. Let's see, that was in '76, '79. They started building this stuff right into the new rigs that they were sending up there. So my job became obsolete, and then I started working on the oil rigs themselves, probably in '79, '80. And that was labor work to work on the rig floors. It's all physical work. It's all, there's nothing easy about anything that was going on up there. I mean, if you could get a fork driving job or something like that there, but most of it was physical work of some sort or another.
Mm-hmm. Now, were most of the people working there, were they like you, coming from like the mainland America, or?
Yeah, a lot of them. Most of them really were. There were a lot of, especially in the oil field, there were a lot of from Louisiana, Texas, Oklahoma, where most of the oil field people come from. Some come a little bit from California because they were doing some drilling down in California, but most of it was from those first three states. So I worked with a lot of different people.
This is one of my final questions.
Okay.
Do you ever think that the war in Vietnam and the Alaskan pipeline could be connected, sort of?
For me?
Like, in, like, political needs and economic, like, the war and then the oil?
In the Vietnam War in Alaska?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. Iraq, yes.
Yeah.
Vietnam, no.
Okay.